Good day, everyone. Welcome and thank you for joining me again. I'm grateful that you're here. I'm grateful that we're here, getting to practice together. As I mentioned in the email, today's practice will be a little bit different in that we'll be focusing on, eventually, on the realm of thoughts and thinking, which is, in my practice, usually something that we sort of accept. We grudgingly welcome it. I mean, we shouldn't grudgingly, we should joyously welcome it, but there's an energy of this is a distraction from what we're looking at, and for the purposes of today, it will eventually be the focus, and I find that at times that makes the being distracted by it even easier, even quicker, where there's no other anchor to draw myself to, then a thought comes up and I just follow it. So this may be a little bit harder for us, and I just invite you to be with it and be curious about that. And with time and practice, maybe that'll change. My other thought for today, the other suggestion I'd like to emphasize is to really try and set yourself up really comfortably. The season is changing. I'm really aware of how the light's changing. And I think if you're in the Bay Area, you're experiencing rain. And so take a moment. I grabbed a hoodie, which I don't usually do for these practices. Find something, a blanket, a pillow, a cushion. Go sit in a chair. If you find some discomfort in the kneeling or sitting cross-legged. I just discovered recently for myself that sitting cross-legged eventually starts to hurt my knees, and I discovered that maybe sitting on a slightly lower surface, I have this really huge meditation cushion, and trying to sit on something a little lower or sitting on sort of the front half of it, so my hips are a little lower. I'm not putting quite so much weight in the knees, in those parts touching the ground, so feel free to explore that suggestion or anything. Now, there's a balance to be found in comfort too. If you end up being so comfortable and sitting with yourself and closing your eyes, you may find that you are motivated to, or you may find yourself falling asleep. And if you do, and that's what you need, I think that's great. Can't guarantee that I can have you out of it at the end of the half hour if you fall asleep and don't hear my bell ringing. If you're having trouble sleeping because of the time change or the weather change or just not going outdoors and exercising or stress or anything, and any sleep would be more welcome than no sleep, and that's where you're at, then I suggest welcoming that. Enjoy sleeping. Enjoy the rest you can get right now. If it's going to make it harder to sleep later, then maybe think about that. But if you need sleep more than you need to sit and meditate, I'm not going to hold you back. There are proponents that say that sleep is as important, if not more important, than meditation. And I'm not an expert, but I know this time, this highly unusual time, has really been a deep exploration for sleep for me, and I've loved it. And it's helped with my meditation and yoga practices. So all of those possibilities and suggestions. With all of that said, please Find yourself in a comfortable, while alert, seated posture of some kind. Feel free to explore that. If you find yourself not as comfortable as you thought you were going to be, then what might you do to change that? How can you mindfully move into that new position, being aware of your whole body and your whole emotional state as you do? If it feels safe for you to do so, please consider closing the eyes. If not, just allowing them to soften and maybe close partially and find a neutral surface to gaze at, like a floor or a wall. You can dim your screen down all the way and just stare at the sort of the glossy black surface. If you keep your eyes open, just really making the effort to release from the need to roam around and acquire information through taking little snapshots of the world around you, which is how we see. Really see if you can passively just let photons enter the eye and explore that process. It's called passive gazing, mindful gazing, and really let it be more like the other senses. Well, we don't necessarily go out listening for things. Maybe we do at certain moments, but if we're just out and about, the sounds occur to us. They occur in our consciousness, much like thoughts do, feelings in the body. Moving now into an awareness of the lower extremities of the body, places where you're touching the ground, you're touching your furniture, your props. Just for a moment, feeling the quality of that weight. Noting the sense of stability. The hands or the forearms pressing into the thighs, the knees, the legs anywhere. The table, the chair, the arms of the chair, your lap. Your fingers touching one another if they are. Your hands in a mudra if that's something you're interested in, a hand pose. Just appreciating the stability. Ideally, appreciating the comfort in this moment. You're allowed to be stationary. You're allowed to focus on your body. You're allowed to pamper it. You're allowed to take this time to explore your inner reality. Exploring the choice to explore that. Continuing to feel into the sits bones now and exploring rocking the pelvis left to right or front to back, and also exploring moving, shifting weight left to right, trying to find the sensation of an equal distribution of weight. Maybe adjusting your stance or adjusting your cushion. Can you find a pose where you can act less to maintain the posture? You need some core strength to remain erect, some back strength. Those two forces playing off of one another to hold us up. And how much of that can we release while still holding the posture? Can we bring comfort to the spine, to the lower back? Can we allow the shoulders to roll back and down, opening the front of the chest, the top of the chest to the sky, allowing the shoulder blades to melt down the back, come closer together. Finding now a posture for our neck. Part of our body that sits atop this opened chest. The open chest be a foundation for the neck, as the neck is a foundation for the head. Of these body parts stacking on top of each other with strength, held together with gravity, allowing the airways of the lungs, the larynx, the back of the throat, the sinuses, the nose, to all open. Perhaps finding a tilt of the head that emphasizes this opening of the airways as well. Perhaps finding space in the back of the neck by tilting the skull slightly forward. Finding relaxation in the jaw, allowing the teeth to separate perhaps. Maybe taking a moment, I did this in a yoga class yesterday, of just allowing your jaw to rotate around in big circles, first one way and then the other. It's not the winningest look, but don't worry, I'm not looking. I'll demonstrate anyway. Exploring the areas of the mouth and the jaw that are sore or poppy or holding of tension. Anything you can to release that in this moment. Allowing the muscles of the face to relax, the muscles around the eyes, the muscles around the temples, the muscles around the ears. Still knowing that you're being held, knowing that you're safe, you're giving yourself the gift of relaxation in this time. Knowing that you're giving yourself, in a sense, the gift of self, the gift of time to explore in a non-intellectual way. Deep, most animal exploration of the workings of the machine that is our mind and our body, our mind-body, our body-mind. Moving now to the breath, taking 3 of the deepest, most delicious inhalations and exhalations of the day. Let them be as deep as possible. Let them be the deepest you've ever taken. Exploring the chest as it expands out in all directions. Even maybe feel a little bit taller. Feel the armpits widen out. Feel the neck raise. And on the exhale, feel the receding of all of those axes, the body along all of those axes, coming in closer to hug the spine. And when you're done with those 3 full inhales and complete exhales, making the choice perhaps to allow the breath to return to whatever its normal automatic cadence and rhythm is. whatever the song of the breath is at this moment. And tuning into that like you might tune into a radio station or a podcast or your preferred streaming service. Just sitting and observing the breath as we start this practice for a moment. As we continue to observe the breath, to view the breath, can we discern a spot where this observation is easy or obvious? A spot where the phenomena of breath is speaking to our awareness, to our conscious selves. Perhaps in the chest, the sternum, the ribs, perhaps in the belly. Perhaps it's in the lower back, or the shoulders, or the armpits, the neck. Perhaps rather than a sense of muscular movement, it's more felt in the sensation of the passage of air in the throat or the sinuses, the nostrils, the upper lip just under the nostrils. And just for this moment, allowing your focus to gradually, gently, to focus deeply in that aspect of the phenomena of breathing in your body. Watching, feeling, hearing, sensing the breath in that area of the body. And every inhale and every exhale. Allowing this focus to be easy. Allowing the quality of it to be light and gentle. If we're distracted, if our attention moves away from the breath like the seeds of a dandelion being blown, just with that light, gentle, compassionate awareness, seeing where they go, and gathering them back to the breath again. Doing this again and again. that this is part of the practice, knowing that if this is happening, that you're doing it right. Now I invite you to open your sense of awareness to zoom back, increase the viewing area to encompass all of the breath. The breath felt in every cell of the body. As the act of breathing is taking place in every cell of the body. Any other occurrences that might make themselves known to you in the body, allow your awareness to hold them as well. Allow any occurrence, physical body or of the mind body, welcome it into the field of observation, into the depth of field, the area of focus. And accept it. Welcome it. Them, welcome them. Perhaps even I would say go as far as love them. Allow them to be here without needing to fight them or push them away. They are here. They were invited into this time, into this space. This is the space for them. They can and should all be here. Without letting go of the focus of the body, without constricting our perception of senses at all. Just opening our awareness to a realm of thinking. Just as sounds and felt sensations in the body, and just as the breath, as a matter of fact, all come and go, each in their own unique time and rhythm. In that same way, can we observe thoughts? Can we allow them to enter our field? Can we observe them? Can we observe their contents without diving headfirst into them? Can we observe them as a discrete part of the larger field of observation? Can we view their contents? Can we observe the energy that they come to us with? Can we observe any perhaps accompanying physical sensations, whether they be a cause or a consequence? Can we observe the energetic force behind the thought, or the emotions that get triggered or evoked, any feelings that are coincident to these thoughts. We allow space for the thought to dissipate and disappear on its own time. For the next 5 minutes in guidanceless silence, can we choose to view the occurrence of thoughts and the occurrence of anything else that comes up for us with interest and discernment and acceptance? Allowing the sound of the bell to draw your attention, to draw your awareness, to draw your mind back to the surface, back to the state of engaging with the world around us. Maybe acknowledging for a moment and appreciating the brief refuge and respite that we've given ourselves. Scanning the body again for sore spots. Maybe moving the neck around or the jaw, doing a forward fold. Sort of curling over the knees, giving space in the lower back. Maybe stretching the arms overhead or stretching the legs out. Just sort of a counterpose to how we've been sitting. Sort of a way of stretching out the places we've been still. As a thank you to your body for being the canvas, the foundation for this time, this practice, this ability to get to appreciate ourselves. May we all be at ease, get to feel safe in our lives and in ourselves. May we be at ease in our bodies, healthy in body and mind. May we be contented and happy and joyful in our lives and in ourselves. Namaste. See you next week.